The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons, Medicare, Social Security, fraud and legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Hi folks, today on Aging Horizons we have a great show planned for you. Our guest is Attorney General Tim Fox, and we're going to be talking about a lot of topics that you really need to know about. We are going to be talking about what they do over at DOJ, or the Department of Justice. We're going to be talking about scams and frauds, and we're going to be talking about a great program for prescription drugs. So today, please join us.
The face of the American workforce is changing. People are healthier, living longer, and living better. Baby boomers are a valuable resource for the workplace of today and tomorrow. They're still active and eager to help. Experience, dedication, wisdom, these are just some of the significant assets older workers bring to the job. Age is an asset, experience a benefit.
Seems like the power bills just get higher and higher every year. I'm on a fixed income and it just doesn't keep up. I hate to do it, but sometimes I have to choose between my meds and staying warm.
No one should ever have to choose between staying well and staying warm. If you need help paying your heating bills, call us today to find out if you qualify. Help is available for both homeowners and renters.
The cold gets into your bones and you can't get it out.
Here in Montana, we love our outdoor activities. Unfortunately, few of them are risk-free. Indeed, Montana is second in the nation per capita in head injuries that can destroy the lives of people we love. That's why you should insist your family always wear protective helmets. But you can do even more. When you fill out your vehicle registration this year, circle the Y and donate $1 to support traumatic brain injury prevention and education. Now that's using the old noggin.
Every generation produces heroes, men and women who step forward to defend our country in time of need, no matter the personal cost to themselves. And though we can never fully repay them, we can make sure they have access to low-cost, long-term care when they need it. That's what Montana's Veterans Homes are all about. If you've got a hero in need in your family, call us. We can help.
Hi folks, welcome to Aging Horizons, brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm Kimmy Everman, your host, and we're so glad to have you with us today because we have a very special guest, Attorney General Tim Fox. We're going to be talking about some great things that are going on in his neck of the woods that we really want you as citizens and beneficiaries to know all about. So welcome.
Oh, well, thank you, Kimmy, for having me on the show.
So good to have you here, yes.
Appreciate it.
So why don't we start out by you just telling us a little bit about what the Department of Justice does.
Well, the Department of Justice is about 750 employees all across the state. We do everything from your driver's licenses and your vehicle licenses to investigating crime, helping county attorneys prosecute crime. We have the crime lab, but one of the most important divisions that we have is the Office of Consumer Protection, which I think is of interest to your viewers.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go ahead and put the number and the website up on our screen because we want to be able to get people to those very important resources. Now, you said that you have about 750 people within your, I guess, staff or whatever, all over the state, pretty much in outlying areas as well, so people don't have to just call Helena to get help?
Oh, that's true, and I forgot to mention we also have the Highway Patrol, which I suppose a few of your viewers have met on the roads.
Right, exactly, myself included once.
The Office of Consumer Protection, though, is located here in Helena, but they're very accessible, as you mentioned, over the internet and over the phone. We have an 800 number that you'll be posting on the the show, and we encourage people to contact the Office of Consumer Protection if they feel they've been scammed or defrauded by a business or an individual, if a business is engaging in deceptive practices or unfair practices. It's our Office of Consumer Protection that can respond to those complaints.
Right. You know, and we at Senior and Long-Term Care certainly see a lot of people that need to use that service. What can they do for you at? You know, we don't like to tell people that they're going to always fix the problem, because sometimes that's not possible.
Right.
But what can somebody do for you if you call the Office of Consumer Protection?
Well, we have investigators and we have lawyers in what we call OCP, the Office of Consumer Protection. If someone files a complaint, we protect their anonymity to the extent that we can, and we work with them. And certainly we'll investigate the situation that they've complained about. And we encourage people to do that, because we can help in a lot of cases. You're correct, in some cases when you've been scammed over the phone or something, it's hard to track people down. But we also want to hear about it, because we need to know what's going on out there, because we proactively issue alerts as well to alert the general public to what kind of scams they can expect to see or hear about.
You know, and that is really one of the things that we often say to folks who contact us. You know, this happened to you, you don't want it to happen to somebody else.
Absolutely.
And that way you can, it seems that Montana is kind of a testing ground for a lot of these no-goodniks that come in and try to scam our folks. And we always want folks to realize that they can stop it sometimes just from happening again.
But if we don't hear about it, there's nothing we can do.
Exactly.
So we encourage folks to give us a call. You can also file a complaint online.
Now, we were talking off camera, and I wanted to just talk a minute about the DMV, or the Department of Motor Vehicles. I don't know if that's what it's called in Montana. It is.
It's a division of motor vehicles.
I was very surprised that it was under Department of Justice, and I don't know why that was, but I had such a nice experience at that office the other day. I had to renew my license, and you can now make an appointment online.
Absolutely. We encourage folks to do that. We know your time is valuable, and we'd like for you to make that appointment online, and then when you get there, we should be in most cases ready to see you and take care of you, so you're in and out as quickly as possible.
And I'll tell you, that was absolutely my experience. I didn't even get the paperwork filled out before they were calling my name to come up to the desk. So I thought that was pretty great. You know, we just have about 2 minutes left in this first segment. What do you think is probably the most important part of your job? You know, as being the state attorney general and seeing a lot of, you know, it must be hard to prioritize all the bad stuff that's out there.
Well, you know, that's a good question, and really so much of what I do is just really fun and interesting, and of course very vital. But I think, you know, from my perspective, protecting Montanans in general, and particularly the most vulnerable, young kids, senior citizens, disabled folks, those kinds of situations, we really try hard at the Department of Justice to do everything we can to prevent crime and prevent scams, and then to prosecute criminals when we have to. But it's an interesting job.
I bet so.
Every morning I get up and I look forward to going to work.
I bet you do. And, you know, people can also call or email you with opinions that they have, right?
Absolutely.
About what's going on in their community and things that they might want to see you work on, or whatever.
Again, at our website, you can send us an email, and that information gets to the right people, and we do love to hear from our citizens about how we're doing. I mean, I appreciate hearing about our Division of Motor Vehicles having done a great job.
They did a great job.
When we fall down and make a mistake, we need to hear about that too.
Well, and I want to say that they did a great picture. I've never had a good picture before, and they did a great picture.
You probably have all great pictures.
Thank you. Well, you know what, folks, we have so much more to talk about with our guest. Next, we're going to be talking about some of the scams that we've seen going on over the last few years, and we don't want you to miss it, so stay with us.
Sometimes the difference between having the life-saving medications you need and going without is the premium on your Medicare drug insurance. If you're a Montana resident enrolled in the Medicare prescription drug program, you may be eligible to receive help with your premiums, even if you own your home or other assets or think you may have too much income. Call or visit the Big Sky RX website today to find out if you qualify.
There you go, ma'am. See you next month.
Thank you.
I didn't know. Montana has one of the highest suicide rates in the country.
Know the signs.
Depression. Isolation. Giving away possessions.
Alcohol abuse.
It's what you can do now that matters.
Don't be afraid to ask. Are you suicidal? Tell someone.
Don't leave the person alone.
Offer hope. Call the Lifeline.
Don't keep suicide a secret.
Break the silence.
I volunteer in schools and meet children who can't stay warm enough at home because their parents can't afford the heating bills. It breaks my heart. I just have to help.
Most of us don't know what it's like to live in a cold house. It makes everything harder, especially for the kids. I've been fortunate in my life and I can afford to help. Why do I do it? I guess you could say it gives me a warm feeling.
If you can help, call Energy Share today or visit us at EnergyShareMT.com.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. If you have diabetes and smoke, you double your risk of dying from a heart attack and greatly increase your risk of stroke, too.
I didn't know either, but now I do, so I quit.
Now you know, too, and there is something you can do. If you have diabetes and smoke, talk to your doctor and call the free Montana Tobacco Quit line today. Your life depends on it.
Hi folks, and welcome back to our second segment of today's Aging Horizons. We have with us a very special guest today, Attorney General Tim Fox, and we're going to be talking now about scams and things that can happen to folks that are not always so great. Let's, you're not stupid if you fall prey to a scam. You just probably don't have all the information you need. So it feels good to have a whole department working on our behalf. Some of the scams that are really prevalent, let's start with the first one, the grandparent or the grandmother scam. How does that look?
Well, generally what happens is our Montana citizens will get a call. Usually it's someone older that gets the call, and the person on the other line is pretending to be a grandchild. And most of us keep track of our grandkids, but sometimes you can fall for this. The person on the other end usually is very persuasive. They say that they're in trouble, and please don't call mom and dad. I need money. I'm being held by law enforcement. Oftentimes it's in a foreign country. And they say, you need to wire me some money so I can get out of jail or get out of this problem. I lost my plane ticket or whatever it may be. Certainly you should never give any personal information like your bank accounts or credit cards over the phone to anybody for any reason. But certainly this is a scam, and you can call, I would call the parents and say, where is Jimmy or where is Susie? Are they okay? And check it out. Certainly don't wire any money to anybody.
And do the scammers, how do they know it's a senior? Do they just kind of, is it just kind of, if they know the voice doesn't sound right, do they just hang up? Or?
Well, it's very troubling, the kind of private information that you can pick up. You can troll for that information on Facebook and social media. There's just a lot of ways to get it, and we've heard a lot about data breaches and what have you. I got a call the other day from a guy who sounded like he was a foreigner. He said he wanted to speak to Timothy Fox, and that's me. And turns out he was a scammer. Where he got my number and my name, I don't know. But
but how hilarious!
Yeah, well, we investigated that one. That's right. You don't want to be calling the Attorney General.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I've always wondered about that. So that does, that makes sense. The Facebook and everything, and also one of the things in some of the notes I read that I thought was a really interesting question to ask is, what's the name of my dog?
Sure.
So that you ask the questions that only you and that grandchild would know.
Absolutely.
Great
Yeah.
idea. Okay, so IRS scam calls, what are those looking like these days?
Well, just another call. Usually a person identifies themselves as an employee of the IRS, and they say that the person on the other line owes taxes, and if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to garnish your wages or your bank account, etc. Again, they're very persuasive. They often have some very personal information, like your name. They may know your age. They may even know more. And again, they want money right away. Usually they want you to send a wire or give a credit card over the phone, and you just never want to give that kind of information over the phone.
You know, we've had someone from the insurance commissioner's office on many times, and she always says, if they want that money right now, it's a red flag that you need to say no and hang up.
Well, and the IRS doesn't do business that way.
Exactly.
They don't ask for money over the phone. In fact, about the only thing they'd ever do is contact you to set up an appointment, perhaps.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If it's the IRS calling you on the phone, more than likely it's a scam.
Yeah.
They generally contact people through the mail.
Sure. Okay, and what about the nonprofit and charity scams?
Well, you know, this is a particularly troubling scam because they prey on people's good kindness, if you will. It typically happens around the holidays. Oftentimes when there's a disaster like a hurricane, Katrina and other things, usually the scammer uses a well-known name like the Red Cross or the Salvation Army or some other well-known charity, and they ask for credit card information again over the phone. Again, I think you should give to charities locally.
I do too, yep.
And to only those charities that you know full well.
Yeah.
And certainly, again, don't give any credit card or bank information over the phone.
So when the firemen are out in the intersections with the boots, that's when we should give our money to the charities. Now, here's a big one, and we, you know, this is always a new one in the news, computer scams. What's that like?
Yeah, I just got this call the other day.
Really?
A guy called, said that he was with Microsoft and that they were getting reports over the internet of a virus on my computer. And they wanted to help fix that and access my computer remotely, which you can actually do. There are services that do that. And for a fee, they would fix those viruses and take them off my computer. Now, oftentimes it stops at you giving a credit card for the fee, and then they're off and running. They'll charge exorbitant fees. But they can also remotely get into your computer and they can plant viruses and they can mine for private information that you may have on your computer, like your social security number or bank number. Again, don't let anyone access your computer or give any credit card information online.
Yeah, that makes really good sense because it's very easy for anybody technically savvy to get onto your computer remotely. Now, we just have a few seconds left. Lottery scam.
Well, you know, I guess if you don't play the lottery, you're not going to win it. But if you get a call from the lottery, it's, again, a scam. The Montana Lottery doesn't call people over the phone, and they don't charge any fees. If you win money, you get money. You don't have to pay. So, again, generally what the lottery scam does is they say that you've won some money, and they need a credit card number or a bank account number so that they can charge a nominal fee and get you your money. That's a scam.
Good. Well, with that, folks, we're going to move on to a really important topic, so stay with us. We'll see you on the other side. Questions about Medicare and other types of insurance? Contact the State Health Insurance Assistance Program office to get answers to questions like, what is the difference between Medicare and Medicaid, and how do you decide if you need Medicare supplemental insurance? This insurance counseling program is not a sales program. It is available to provide answers to your insurance questions. For more information, call the State Health Insurance Assistance Program office at 1-800-332-2272.
If the Aging Network in Montana was a restaurant, the sign out front would say, over 50 million meals served over the last 30 years. Since adequate nutrition is critical to health and quality of life, nutrition services are an important factor in keeping older Montanans healthy independent, and living in their community and home. To find out more about senior nutrition programs in your area, call 1-800-551-3191.
Are you looking for a helping hand through the maze of human services, or for information on government programs and benefits that you may qualify for? The Information and Assistance Program provides information on all programs that meet our aging population's basic needs and programs that enhance their lives as well as the lives of their families or caregivers. If you have questions about Medicaid, Medicare, or other services and programs, please call 1-800-551-3191.
Providing long-term care for someone in need is a labor of love, but it is a labor. Time apart is healthy and necessary both for the caregiver and the person receiving care. It allows each a respite, time to relax and recharge. If you're a long-term caregiver, visit the new Lifespan Respite website. Financial assistance may be available. Respite for caregivers. It's okay to need it. It's okay to want it. It's okay to get it.
Hi folks, welcome back to Aging Horizons. It's our last segment in a really interesting show with a really special guest, Attorney General Tim Fox. Before we move on to our next topic though, let's just say one more word about the scams that we were talking about in our last segment. If you are scammed in any one of these ways, who do you tell?
You can call the Office of Consumer Protection in the Department of Justice here, and you'll have the website up on the screen,
we'll put it up.
and you can file a complaint over the website, or you can call the 800 number and report the scam. We want to hear about these things because we issue alerts and let folks know what the latest scam is.
Sure, and I think it's important for our audience to realize no one will judge them.
No.
You know, the smartest people in the world can fall prey to these scams, so there won't be any judgment, and it will maybe help stop this for the next person.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, so let's move on to a pretty interesting topic that's really a lot in the news right now, Montana's Prescription Drug Abuse Prevention Program.
Okay.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Now, you said that that's been around a little bit, but you've really been working hard to jumpstart it a bit and get it back on the radar. What's it all about?
Well, you know, last year alone, there were 125 Montanans who died from prescription drug overdoses, just overdoses, no other contributing factor. And there are our friends, our neighbors, our kids, lots of folks. And unfortunately, prescription drug abuse is a reality in Montana. Last year, I settled a case, my office settled a case with a pharmaceutical company that had marketed their drugs in an appropriate way, and we settled for $6 million, and we took $1.5 million of that to jumpstart our prescription drug abuse prevention program.
Super.
We've hired a young lady here from Helena, Kaylin Kelly, who's a very capable, smart young lady, and she is working with all of the players, pharmacists, doctors, Department of Public Health and Human Services, and Montanans.
Yeah, I was going to ask, citizens involved as
Absolutely.
well? Good.
The important thing, I think, for our viewers to know is that it's very easy to get a hold of these prescription drugs in your grandmother's medicine cabinet or, you know, elsewhere. Of course, there are criminals who sell these things, but a lot of it is just picked up by taking it out of someone's drug cabinet. So
because it's so accessible, it's easy.
Absolutely. And if you don't need it anymore, we of course encourage you to take them to a local drop-off. There's one here in Helena at the police department. Most police departments can do that, but we're going to work with all the stakeholders. We're going to do an outreach program and public awareness program in schools and elsewhere. We're going to try to work with law enforcement to get more drop-off locations so that people can bring their unused prescription drugs in and have them destroyed appropriately. And so there's just so much more we can do. There's a prescription drug registry that we're encouraging doctors and pharmacists to use. So that.
And tell us just briefly, what is that?
Sure. Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of folks that doctor shop. They abuse,
which means they
go out and they get prescriptions from multiple doctors and abuse drugs, or maybe they sell them. So to prevent that, we ask that doctors and pharmacists use the registry. It's a voluntary act. and that way they can check and see if someone's doctor shopping.
Okay, great, great idea. And I would assume that you're having a pretty good reaction from all of those folks.
Oh, absolutely.
That they want to be involved and they want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Absolutely. The healthcare providers really want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to prevent prescription drug abuse. By the time law enforcement gets involved, it's a problem, so we want to try to prevent it as much as we can.
Now, you know, another thing that I found in your notes, which I found very encouraging, was that you're looking for ways to identify and help addicts.
Absolutely. That's a big part of it. We need to make sure that folks get the proper care that they need and that they can stop abusing prescription drugs before it becomes a real health issue for them or perhaps kills them.
Yeah, because I think, you know, yeah, there's the legal pieces that are involved, but there's a person at the center of that who might need some help.
Well, Montanans are very caring people.
Absolutely.
And we like to think that we don't have some of these national problems, but we do. And but we're very, very good at reaching out and taking care of our neighbors and our friends and our family, and that's a big part of what we are as Montanans.
Yeah. Well, now we have just about 2 minutes left. I wanted to ask you pretty specifically, because you've got some great ideas about how to actually dispose of your meds if you're not taking them to a drop-off box.
Right. Well, one way to do it is to mix them with something that's objectionable. Kitty litter.
See, I saw that, and we're talking about used kitty litter,
Yes.
which I said, ookie, I wouldn't do.
Right.
I wouldn't do that either.
Used coffee grounds is another one. You can basically make them in a way that no one's going to want to use them, and certainly the best thing to do is to take them to a drop-off location if you can. We don't want to have them in our water systems if we can avoid it.
Yeah, because I think that's probably one of the first things people think is, oh, I can just throw it in the toilet and flush it and it's gone.
Right.
But
yeah.
it's not gone.
It's not gone, yeah. No, it's not a good idea to put it into our sewer systems and what have you.
Yeah.
But and if you have, again, you can call the Department of Justice or go to our website. You can learn a lot more about this problem and what we're doing to get ahead of it.
And if you want, get involved as a citizen.
Absolutely.
Get involved and make your voice known. You know, we just have 30 seconds left, and I guess I just want to know, what do you think is probably one of the most important things that our viewers should take away from today's show?
Well, I guess, you know, identity theft is huge in the United States, and you need to protect your information. You need to change your passwords online. You need to make sure you never give information online to anyone that you don't know or over the phone.
Right.
Take steps to make sure that you protect your identity.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, thanks so much for being with us today. We've enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
And folks, join us again next time.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free 800-332-2272.